Game 2 in the best of 5 between the New York Mets and the Los Angeles Dodgers. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Dodger Stadium. Ernie Johnson along with the Iron Man Cal Ripken Jr. and the All-Star right-hander Ron Darling. Ron, the Mets in the regular season, 20-60 was their record when they scored 3 runs or fewer. Last night they scored 3. It was enough.
Well, what they have to do really is what they did last night. That was the blueprint on how to beat the Dodgers. You got to pitch better than they did. And Jacob deGrom was better than Clayton Kershaw. He had 13 Ks. That hadn't been done since Tom Seaver. And then Terry Collins talked to his left-handed hitters. They had 4 hits last night, including this home run from Daniel Murphy, which gave them the early lead. That's another big key. And you're not going to have that many opportunities to score. And their captain came through last night in the 7th inning with the bases loaded, with 2 outs, with a full count. He comes up with a big 2-run single that iced the game for the Mets.
That dropped Clayton Kershaw's postseason record to 1-6 in his career. So the Dodgers send Zach Greinke to the mound tonight, Cal. But take me inside that clubhouse. Take me inside a player's mindset when you drop the opener at home.
Yeah, inside the clubhouse, they're saying it's just one game. We lost one game. All we have to do is win tonight, and then we get even with them. But I do believe there was a shift in pressure. The Mets came in here hoping to win 1 of 2. By winning the first game, it puts the pressure squarely back on the Dodgers. The Dodgers it's a must-win situation. They cannot go to New York down 0-2. And one way to alleviate some of that pressure is to find a way to score early. They must score early to give Greinke a little room.
Only 3 teams beat Zach Greinke this year. Rockies beat him, Padres beat him, Astros beat him. If the Mets beat him tonight, they're a game away from the National League Championship Series. The first pitch is on the way here on TBS. The Dodgers take the field here at Chavez Ravine, moments away from the start of Game 2 of this National League Division Series. 90 degrees. It was again around 100 today. things will cool off, we hope, as the night goes on. Tonight's batting order is presented by T-Mobile. Curtis Granderson leads it off again for the Mets. David Wright with the 2 big RBIs last night in the 2-hole. Daniel Murphy moves up to the 3 spot. He homered in Game 1. Cespedes is the cleanup hitter. Then Lucas Duda, Travis d'Arnaud, Michael Conforto gets the start tonight in left field. Ruben Tejada at short. Noah Syndergaard does the pitching.
Well, one of the leading candidates for the Cy Young this year is Zach Greinke. That incredible 19-3 record that you alluded to before, Ernie. In 4 postseason starts with the Dodgers, he's 1-1 with a 1.93 ERA.
Setting the defense. We got, of course, Zach Greinke on the mound throwing the Yasmani Grandal. Around the diamond here. Turner and Gonzalez on the corner. And Kendrick and Seager, double play partners. Out in the outfield today, we got Carl Crawford in left, Enrique and Hernandez in center, and Andre Ethier in right.
Dodgers committed the fewest errors in baseball, 75 this year. Neither side committed an error in the opener. Zach Greinke ready to go. So is Curtis Granderson, who went 2 for 3 last night and had a walk. Takes the first pitch, hits a strike, 0-1. Granderson kind of joked about the fact that he swung at the first pitch last night from Clayton Kershaw after 70-something at bats without swinging at the first pitch. Said that even A.J. Ellis joked with him about it when he came up later. He said, so how long have you been setting that up? Here comes the 1-1. Down low, 2 balls and a strike. Cal, what's your approach against a guy like Zach Greinke?
Well, you want to make him come over the big part of the plate. He's got excellent control. He likes to pick on the corners, and you really don't want to fish out there on the pitcher's pitch early in the count. So try to be a little bit more patient, look for the big part of the plate, and hopefully he'll fall behind and give you a pitch to hit.
Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Dodgers with their shift. 3 infielders on the right side, and only the rangy shortstop, Corey Seager, on the left side. And there goes Granderson the other way, but foul. That could have been trouble.
Yeah, you wonder if he intentionally tried to do that. It almost looked that way.
Well, that's the difficult part about these shifts, is that if you're a pitcher, you see right there, that was interesting. Greinke told Seager to stay in his spot. Don't move all the way up the middle, because it takes pitches away from you. You can't throw that fastball away.
The 2-2. And that's a foul ball off the foot of Granderson.
I'm surprised more pitchers don't turn around and look, especially the status of Greinke and Kershaw, and say, okay, that doesn't work for me. I need you a little bit more where you're normally at, because I got to make the pitch on the outside corner, and I want to go inside as well.
We saw Clayton Kershaw, the 3 walks in the 7th inning, his undoing last night. Lined over the shift, base hit by Granderson to lead it off for the New York Mets.
Baseman number 5, David.
He didn't kill it, but he placed it perfectly. And Granderson aboard.
Yeah, kept his hands in there, hit the ball on the fat part of the bat. Not really the fat part of the bat, but the part that we call a little fat in there. Enough strength to push it over the second baseman's head.
Now here's David Wright. And when you talk to Terry Collins, well, he pointed to that first at bat by Wright last night, that 12-pitch at bat in which he really battled Clayton Kershaw, worked him for a walk. Cuts right through that one, 0-1.
Well, Kershaw was pretty dynamic last night until that 7th inning.
Well, you wonder if pitch count, if you do push the pitch count up, does it make him a little bit less control in the 7th inning when he walked 3 guys?
On the ground up the middle. Seager, there's one. The first double play.
Well, it feels like we got more action already in the first inning from the defense than we did all last night. Seager catches the ball, makes a nice underhand flip. It's a touch throw and a beautiful turn right there. Routine 6-4-3 double play in the big leagues.
Big smile on the youngster. Nice turn by Kendrick.
Well, here's Daniel Murphy. One for 4 in the opener. That one was a big one. A home run to deep right into the Mets bullpen that put New York on the board.
So Murphy talked to a home plate umpire saying that he thought that ball was inside. That caught the inside corner. Home plate umpire Jim Wolf tonight.
I love what he said. I read his lips. He said no further than that. And so it's just drawing a line to how far. So every time the ball's in there from now on, the umpire has to think, okay, is that further than the one I called?
This is for real. That he tattooed that pitch and his name from his bat transferring to the horse side. How about that?
Sometimes you see the ink from the ball on your own bat, and sometimes you'll see the label or something else on the ball. But I don't think I've ever seen a perfect imprint of your name on the ball.
2-0 fastball he got from Kershaw last night.
He waits on a 2-1 from Greinke. And we're even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now I saw the changeup sign, and it looked like a changeup, but it's 89 and his fastball is 93. It's just a little bit more of a two-seamer, where it's a hard, sort of explosive strikeout pitch for a changeup.
See the pitch arsenal for Zach Greinke this season. He will mix it up. A very cerebral pitcher. Yasmani Grandal has caught him for most of his starts this season.
That's tonight's Chevrolet pitch tracks. As we get set for a 2-2 pitch with 2 outs here in the first to Daniel Murphy. Greinke, the ERA leader in the National League, tied for second in wins with 19. Opponents at 187 against him. That's number 2. Right behind Jake Arrieta at 185. And if his 166 ERA wasn't good enough at home, he's 146.
Good at bat here by Murphy. The top 10 in the National League in batting average, they bat 186 off Zach Greinke. Owns the National League hitters.
Wouldn't that the rest of the league too?
Yeah, he did.
But especially the guys, the best guys in the league, only hit 186 off of him.
Payoff pitch. Swung on and missed. Ball skips away from Grandal, who throws down to Gonzalez to complete the strikeout. And that does it for the Mets in the top of the first. It's game 2 on TBS. back here at Dodger Stadium, where the batting order is presented by T-Mobile. And for the first time this season, the Dodgers starting lineup has Howie Kendrick hitting leadoff. He's followed by Corey Seager, then Adrian Gonzalez. Justin Turner hits cleanup, followed by Andre Ethier, Carl Crawford, Yasmani Grandal in the starting lineup tonight. Kike Hernandez in center field, and Zach Greinke batting ninth and doing the pitching.
You know, when the Mets knew they were going to be in the postseason, there was some talk about Syndergaard only starting at Citi Field because the splits were upside down. But his last few starts, much better on the road when he went 2-0 with a 2.29. That's why he gets the start tonight.
Syndergaard, 23 years old, and as many great ranks as Zach Greinke has among National League pitchers. When you look at the rookie ranks, Syndergaard's name is all over it. His ERA is #1 among rookies, second in wins with 9, first in strikeouts with 166. Howie Kendrick slaps it to the right side, and Syndergaard does his job, taking the flip from Duda for the first out. Sam Ryan with us again tonight on the field. Sam, what you got?
Ernie, Ron was talking about the home road splits for Noah Syndergaard. A 2.46 ERA at Citi Field, above 4 away from Citi Field. He talked about those last 3 road starts giving him confidence coming into this one. He said he's really finding his comfort zone on the road. And Terry Collins said he may benefit from sitting on the bench watching Jacob deGrom in this atmosphere last night, guys.
Corey Seager swinging at the first pitch, 0-1.
That's a good point by Sam, because not every pitcher is alike, but you can get a sort of blueprint on how you want to attack a team by the right-hander from last night, deGrom.
Quickly, he's ahead 0-2. Another thing, when you think about it, I mean, Terry Collins said a couple innings in, he had to kind of tell Jacob deGrom last night, slow it down, settle down. And understandably, making his first postseason start, he was going to be pretty amped, as Syndergaard is also, and that was quick work he made of Corey Seager.
That was only 100 miles an hour there, guys. Do that right by the youngster.
Well, the radar gun was lit up last night, but right now, 399s and 100 right out of the chute. I don't think Terry's going to tell him that he needs to actually slow down a little bit.
Well, these Met young arms, these guys with the flowing locks and 98-mile-an-hour stuff, man alive.
Nicknames.
Or as Eck would say, that guys with good moss.
That's right.
So Egon went up there thinking, okay, I got to get it started a little early on this 100-mile-an-hour, and then has a check swing on a breaking ball on the first pitch. Can't hold it up. Strike one.
Gonzalez waits on an 0-1. No balls and 2 strikes. Look at Travis d'Arnaud.
People are always surprised by that, but that is usually the case. The catcher, right before he catches it, will close their eyes.
That's the norm.
Yep. At the 101, I'm closing my eyes up here right before it gets to d'Arnaud.
Syndergaard, 1,053 pitches at 97 plus. It's the most in the majors this year.
It's only 150 innings pitched now, remember.
That's some heat.
He came to the Mets in the R.A. Dickey trade, along with his battery mate, Travis d'Arnaud. Nibbled and missed. And the count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
The thing they love about him at 23 years old, he's a sponge. He loves to sit next to his pitching coach and just try to get as much information as he can.
Gonzalez 1 for 3 against Syndergaard in that meeting in July. That one was a home run.
That home run was on a changeup. It'll be interesting to see if Syndergaard uses that pitch against Gonzalez tonight.
Just called for it right here.
Count full, 3-2.
I'd have been real hesitant to throw that changeup right there. After throwing the fastball by him, you got 101 mile an hour. You threw it by him, he's fouling it off the opposite way. The changeup at 90 miles an hour speeds that bat up just a little bit.
Payoff pitch. And he got him. 2 strikeouts in the first for Syndergaard. We head to the second. Pair of game 3s on MLB Network. They've got the Royals and Astros, and FS1's got the Blue Jays and Rangers on Sunday. Monday, Blue Jays and Rangers if they need it, and see the games on TBS on Monday as we move to the top half of the second inning. Yoenis Cespedes takes a strike, 0-1. Cespedes 0 for 4 in the opener, struck out 3 times.
Again, employing that shift all the way on the left side of the infield are the Dodgers.
Greinke getting ahead, 0-2.
Cespedes, known in his native Cuba as La Potencia, the power, and he provided it for the Mets. They were averaging 3.5 runs a game before he came, almost 5.5 after he came.
That's a potent offense, 5.5 runs a game.
17 home runs, 44 runs batted in 57 games for New York. That one's high and away. A ball and 2 strikes. Greinke into the wind, and that's down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Jim Wolf is the home plate umpire. Greg Gibson at first. Chris Guccione at second. Gary Cederstrom, the crew chief, is at third. Down the left field line, it's Chad Fairchild. And down the right field line, the guy who was calling balls and strikes last night, Alan Porter. Cespedes in center field tonight. He has told Terry Collins when he came over, look, I am a center fielder. I played a lot of left field because like in Oakland, Coco Crisp was the center fielder. He said, but center field is his spot. Cannon for an arm. All kinds of talent. Waiting on a 2-2 from Greinke. That's in the air to right and pretty well hit. Ethier goes back to the track, leaping, and that ball is gone. Yoenis Cespedes has given the New York Mets the Game 2 lead.
The power indeed.
Cespedes, no home runs in his last 60 at-bats. Picks a good time to break out. Looks like it's a fastball out over the plate. Tries to get it on the outside corner, just a little up. But this shows you how strong he is. He actually knew it was gone. Everybody here thought it had a chance to stay in. You got to be some kind of strong to take a ball on the outside edge, or maybe a little off the plate, and hit it over the right field wall.
Here's Lucas Duda. Greinke gave up 14 home runs in the regular season in his 222 2/3 innings. And he gives one up to Cespedes here in the top half of the second.
For you folks at home, 14 home runs in 222 innings pitched is incredibly low. Strong man. A lot of people talk about 5-tool players. There's very few of them out there. He's one of them.
A ball and a strike. Duda breaks his bat. The blooper into left. Seager. That is a quality play. Cal, you want to tell me how tough a catch this is?
Yeah, I was just laughing because Corey's style is he makes everything look easy. He's a big guy. 6'4", 225. Got a little speed. Tracks the ball over his shoulder and just easily catches that. That's a hard play, and he made it look so easy. We talked about pressure in the open and how the pressure could build. If the Mets get a lead or staying in the game, I think the advantage starts to go to the Mets in the later innings, because then the pressure starts getting on the offense to try to score runs and catch up. I really believe that if they could find a way to get that lead, then the pressure could be relieved a little bit. Greinke would have a little room to work, but it's not going to be the case right now.
No balls, one strike to the Mets catcher Travis d'Arnaud.
You always say as an offense, you got to score one anyway if you just give up one, so we got a lot of time left. But as the game starts creeping on, you start squeezing the bat a little tighter and trying a little harder. And you really need to be relaxed to be able to swing a bat.
I think, though, as a team, what happens sometimes is when you have two pitchers of this quality, Kershaw and Greinke, and the start by the Mets is exactly the same start that they had last night with the solo home run. Start not shaking your head, but hey, what's going on here?
That stayed low, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And again, one of the things, Cal, in your approach against Greinke is laying off some of that stuff that's going to go out of the strike zone, and the Mets do a great job at that.
Yeah, they do. They know the strike zone. They look for the middle part of the plate. They battle and they force your pitch count up. So yeah, that's the kind of offense that you need against Greinke.
d'Arnaud strikes out. Second out here in the second. StatCast powered by Amazon Web Services. We look at the power of La Potencia. Just under 100 miles an hour exit speed.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting is that his exit speed, if you look at him when he hits a ball to left field, the bat gets out there a little further. So again, it's his brute strength. He's hitting the ball a little bit back without the bat in the maximum speed position. So still 100 miles an hour on an opposite field home run. That's great.
Now here's Michael Conforto. The Mets are so high on this kid. and he's had a great year. 270, 9 homers, 26 runs batted in. Has great pop to the opposite field. They shift, put 3 on the right side. But Ron, you've seen firsthand the way this guy can go the other way.
Well, if it's on the ground, he's more apt to pull, but he has 5 home runs, 5 of his home runs to the left field. Tremendous power the other way. This kid is going to be a star and an everyday player. Right now, only playing against right-handed pitchers.
2-0 is over. 2 balls and 1 strike. Conforto played 56 games, made his big league debut against the Dodgers on July 24th, and in the process became the 1,000th New York Met in history when he made his debut. Boy, he rifled that ball down the line in right. Fair or foul? Fair ball. Home run. Michael Conforto has connected off Zach Greinke.
Can't wait to see the exit speed off of that one. That was a laser down the right field line.
Welcome to the playoffs.
When we talk about his power the other way, what about when he gets one in the inner half? Right inside the pole. Ooh, right off the pole.
It's right off the pole.
So twice here in the second, the Mets go deep off Zach Greinke. Couple of solo shots. And here is Tejada.
You're not supposed to be able to do that, Cal, in your first at bat in the postseason. I mean, come on.
That ball was hit so hard and got out of here so quickly, I didn't even see it hit the pole. I was looking at the umpire on the line for the call and looked down the right field line, and Alan Porter said, fair ball, certain touch them all, and it's 2-0. Well, the StatCast guys are going to have their work cut out for them. That might be a record.
It still come back to a little bit of the pressure. If you're the Mets and you come in here and win that first game, you feel like you're playing with house money. And you come out here a little bit, play a little looser, bat comes through the zone just a little quicker. They look relaxed.
The 0-2. Down and away. Tejada was 0 for 3. Struck out 3 times, but walked and scored a run in the opener. There's again the other look at that ball hitting the foul pole and right.
I mean, lost in the shuffle last night was that great at bat by Tejada in that 7th inning off Kershaw, working the walk. He would come around to score the 3rd run for the Mets. The pitch count already up to 38 here in the 2nd inning for Greinke.
That's easy to say you want to push the pitch count up, but not all offenses have that ability to be that patient.
Just 2 starts all year with 2 home runs allowed, and here in the second, the Mets taking him deep twice. All the way again by Tejada. It stays 2-2.
You saw Duda talking with Cespedes. He almost has mythic proportions with this Mets and his Mets teammates. They look at him like, okay, we all can play, but he can really play.
25 pitches in the inning for Zach Greinke. And he strikes out Tejada, but not before the Mets do some damage. Cespedes goes yard. Conforto with a bullet to right. It's 2-0. Official caps, hoodies, jackets, and more. Celebrate with your favorite team at the MLB.com shop. The home run hitters for the Mets in the top half of the second inning. And left fielder Conforto, the center fielder Cespedes. Giving the Mets a 2-0 lead. Noah Syndergaard goes to work against Justin Turner. Here's a little 99 for you, Iron Man.
I was just watching the catcher give him the shake, shake, shake. Because the book on Turner is to start him off with breaking balls. Don't throw a first piece of cheese down there. But all the shakes confused Turner enough, said, okay, let me take this first pitch.
No balls and 2 strikes. Syndergaard pitched out here in the 3rd of July, a game that the Mets won 2-1. He was not involved in the decision. But he only gave up 2 hits in 6 innings of work and 1 earned run. Said the atmosphere was electric on that 4th of July weekend. He wondered what it would be like here for a postseason game. And he's, well, I think he got his answer in the 1st inning when he looked up and saw the towels waving and crowd on their feet here in the 1st inning. And now he's working with a 2-0 lead. And he strikes out Turner at an even 100. Okay, here we go with the StatCast on the exit on Michael Conforto. 115 miles an hour.
That's about right.
Is that the way you had it calculated also, Cal?
Just by eyesight, yes, but I wonder how hard it bounced off the pole.
We don't have that one yet. We're working on it.
There's Andre Ethier. Took something off at 84, and Ethier took it 0-1.
That's one of the keys for him, is to get the breaking ball over, to get an early strike. Keeps everybody off of cheating on that fastball.
No balls and 2 strikes. He struck out 3 in a row.
And at 100 miles an hour, you do have to cheat a little bit on the fastball.
Very much like Jake Arrieta, and we saw in the wild card game, Syndergaard, who is so tall and big, starts in a position that's almost like the stretch. And then he goes from that position, just a simple, very easy windup.
This down low, a ball and 2 strikes. So Cal, tell me what you mean when you're up there and you're facing a guy throwing triple digits.
Well, I mean, you know, you have less reaction time and you feel like you have to get it started. The real key is just to slow down your body, not stride as much, and try to use your hands, because you have a little bit more control of the quickness of your hands. But cheating means leaking, going a little early, anticipating the fastball and trying to get the bat head out. And all that does is make it easier to fool you on a breaking ball.
Unlike Arrieta, that we saw earlier in the wild card series, he pitches from the first base side of the rubber.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And Ron, to your point, not many moving parts with this delivery.
Well, I think that's one of the things that you learn in the minor leagues. When you're a big, powerful pitcher like Syndergaard, you've got to get a repeatable delivery. The simpler it is, the easier it is. And they've made his mechanics very simple.
The 2-2. Had to dance out of the way, and the count full.
Now, there for a while, the quick fixes were just put him in the stretch the whole time.
Yeah.
But there's an advantage to being in the windup for a power pitcher.
You just feel like you're going to get a little more on the ball. Well, it's interesting. Ethier's had the best swings against Syndergaard so far. For Dodger fans, Syndergaard in his last 63 in the 3rd innings pitch gave up 13 home runs. So the home run ball has been a problem for the youngster.
Remember the 3-2 changeup to Agon. I think that's in play right here. Nope, they're coming back, fastball in.
Good at bat by Ethier. Fought that one In fact, he was on it, followed it straight back to the screen.
He's had some really good swings. 3 really good swings off 100-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Well, after July 29th, Ethier batted .333. He was their best hitter.
And there it is.
And he missed with it. Ethier draws a 1-out walk.
This is where you see how much fight you have in your ball club. Great at bat by Ethier.
The Syndergaard's slow to the plate. Ethier is not a real big base stealing threat, but you might want to do things to actually produce a few runs here. Even though you're down 2-0, still early in the game, you can still play with that game plan.
Here's Carl Crawford. Crawford overmatched last night against DeGrom. Went 0 for 4, struck out a couple of times. He hit leadoff last night, and he's in the 6th hole tonight.
Yeah, the swing looks a little long right now. And with that kind of velocity up in the strike zone, tough to catch up to.
Right away, he's behind 0-2. Mets, go ahead.
No, opponents have stolen 15 out of 16 bases. Again, you don't always have to be that base stealer. He's slow to the plate, a little bit more time, so a good reasonable jump to get him to second base.
Ethier, not much of a lead at first. Crawford took it inside. A ball and 2 strikes. Mets pitchers allowed the 2nd fewest walks behind the Washington Nationals in the National League. The only walk issued last night was an intentional. Ethier walking here in the 2nd against Syndergaard. And Crawford fouled it straight back. It remains 1-2.
Yeah, Ethier, there's no intention here to steal the base. He's very cautious, close to first base.
Well, when you think of Carl Crawford, you think of a guy with speed, a guy who hits for average, but this is his 37th playoff game, and he has 7 home runs. He's got some pop.
1-2 to third. Right throws him out for the 2nd out. It's kind of a nubber over there to third that Wright only had 1 play to make. And so Ethier's at 2nd with 2 down.
Yeah, jams him right here. He busts his bat. And just a little line drive, 1 hopper to David Wright. Only played to first base.
It was almost a line drive. It was somewhere between it. Well, it was close to a line drive.
You see Yasmani Grandal 0 for his last 21 with runners in scoring position. Finished 4 for his last 84.
Switch hitting catcher who gets the start here in game 2. A.J. Ellis, the starter in game 1. Syndergaard to the plate. And that missed. 2 balls and no strikes. That's over. 2 balls and 1 strike. Grandal, 16 home runs, 47 runs batted in on the year.
Darno actually gave an inside target and a high target. A high strike right there on the 2-0 pitch. Hit it perfectly.
Syndergaard and Darno having a little trouble right now getting on the same page. sometimes when you get in these counts where you're behind and the catcher comes out to talk to you, sometimes you give them, hey, this is what I'm going to throw to this pitch, this is what I'm going to throw to the next pitch. So you don't have to worry about not being on the same page.
Yeah, I always worried about any verbal signs because as a shortstop, I want to know what's coming.
Yeah.
But if you're worried that the guy on second base is giving the signs, then you might go out there and give a verbal one.
Fouled off, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Grandal's the former San Diego Padre, came to the Dodgers in that Matt Kemp deal.
This crowd just dying for some offense from their Dodgers.
Up and in, 3-2.
That's a similar target he gave in 2-0. Definitely try to get him to chase. More times you'll chase that high fastball if it's out over the plate because it looks good. If it starts in, you're not apt to go after that one.
Payoff pitch from Syndergaard to Grandal. Lined, but right at Murphy in shallow right. And that'll do it for the Dodgers. They get a runner in scoring position, but cannot score him. We head to the 3rd. Tires that go the distance inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear. More driven. It's exactly the kind of space I want between me and LA traffic.
Our hotel is 2 miles from here. It only took us 45 minutes to get home last night.
Noah Syndergaard leading it off. Swings the stick pretty well for a pitcher. Grounds this one to first. Gonzalez to Greinke. 1 down.
You know, we showed you that stat before that a couple of times this year. Greinke's given up 2 home runs in a game, but he has not given up 2 home runs in a game here since last August, and it was the New York Mets.
Well, if there's a bright side of that, they were both solos.
Yeah.
I've always marveled at Greinke's athletic ability. Covering first base, he makes it look so easy, helps himself in so many ways on the mound as a fielder.
Here's Curtis Granderson. Singled his first time, found a little spot in that shift and dropped it in there in the first. And he was erased in a double play. One and one. The thing when I look at Zach Greinke's season as a whole, there was a 9-start stretch in there in which the Dodgers scored 23 runs for him. He went 0-2 in that 9-game stretch, giving up 12 earned runs in those 9 starts. And of those 23 runs that LA scored, 9 came in 1 game, so he was getting absolutely no support. You wonder what his one-loss record would be as he finishes 19-3 if he had been able to chalk up a few during that stretch. Grounded foul by Granderson.
Yeah, that puts him maybe over 20, 21, 22, up with there with Jake Arrieta.
Now, who you guys got, Arrieta or Greinke for the side?
I've got Arrieta. 22 wins. Today's game is huge.
Yeah, I thought Greinke a couple weeks ago, but the way Arrieta finished, I'd have to give a nod to him too.
Down the left side and out of play.
Doesn't seem like there's a whole lot that Greinke could do about that run support during that period of time. But wins still, people have a knack of getting wins. Good pitchers know how to stay out there and get a win.
On the ground to second. Turner in that shift throws him out. 2 up and 2 down. So you see those big 3 when it comes to National League Cy Young. Clayton Kershaw's already got 3 of them. Greinke's got 1 to his credit with the Kansas City Royals. And Jake Arrieta, who is just a beast.
Now that stat, Greinke doesn't strike out as many as the other 2. He pitches to contact. He's still a strikeout pitcher, knows how to strike out somebody when he needs one.
Here's David Wright. And we did that wild card game the other night in Pittsburgh between the Cubs and the Pirates. And you saw the benches clear when Arrieta got hit by that pitch. John Lester later letting everybody know on social media that the ball suffered a contusion.
That's right. Well, Greinke is working so slow. It's almost like he's trying to be so precise with every pitch, not make a mistake. Made 2 in the last inning.
And the Mets are doing a good job of not going after those pitches just off the plate.
There's a strike, 2-1. How fitting was it for the New York Mets in their return to postseason play for the first time since 2006 that the only guy who was on that team in 06 who's here now delivered the huge bases loaded knock in the 7th inning with the team captain David Wright.
You know, you have to remember he spent most of his summer here in Los Angeles working with the back doctor to try to get back on the field, kind of isolated by himself away from the team. Only when they would come on the West Coast would he visit them and see his teammates.
He waits on a 2-2 from Greinke, and here it comes. Count is full. And we told the story last night about how he had gone and talked to Don Mattingly, had back problems of his own, and then Mattingly kind of reassured him and encouraged him in his comeback. Said before game 1, look, I don't feel a whole lot of sympathy for the guy right now. And I'm sure it was even less after the damage he did in game 1 last night.
I know he's enjoying getting back to the playoffs, though. There's nothing like playing in playoff baseball. And if you've had a little drought I got there early in my career and had a long drought. And then you feel so special and so happy to get back in. It's what you play for. And he's really enjoying it.
Goes down swinging to cap a 1-2-3 inning for Zach Greinke. Middle of the third from Chavez Ravine. What do you say we take a look at tonight's Playmakers presented by Chrysler? Now, Jorge Soler got in the lineup for the Chicago Cubs. Joe Madden today, and that paid off. 2 for 2. He hit a home run, knocked in a couple of runs, and the Chicago Cubs have evened the series with the St. Louis Cardinals. Dave Winfield and Kenny Lofton here at Dodger Stadium. And Kike Hernandez fooled on that first offering from Syndergaard, 0-1. So now, with that win today by the Cubs in St. Louis, in the postseason, National and American combined, road teams are 7-2. And the Mets have a 2-0 lead here in Game 2 in Los Angeles.
Kike Hernandez went up looking for the heat. He got a curveball and changeup back-to-back from Thor.
And Syndergaard just doesn't have a 100 and 101 mile an hour fastball. He's got the other pitches and control. He's very polished.
Went with the breaking stuff again. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hernandez, a valuable player on this team. He's seen some time at second base, at short, center field. When Howie Kendrick was hurt, he played second. When Jock Peterson was struggling at the plate, he went to center field. Out of play.
Really, it was this injury late in the season that prompted them to bring up Corey Seager.
Seager came up, made his debut September 3rd, and has been so impressive There was no other way that Don Mattingly could go here in the postseason but to put the 21-year-old at short. But Hernandez, who sat last night, starts in center field tonight.
And Mattingly thinks someday he's going to be an everyday guy, and he could very well be an everyday guy that spells relief all around the diamond. Second, short, center.
The 2-2 lined into left. Hernandez leads off the third with a base hit. The first hit off of Syndergaard.
You see that grip right there from Syndergaard. That was a changeup, 90 miles an hour inside.
A changeup from a righty to righty is not nearly as effective as a changeup from a righty to a lefty that goes down and away from him.
Greinke's a good hitter, but certainly up there to bunt here and takes that for a strike.
And 8 sacrifices this year. See that 224 average. He's hit over the last 3 seasons 249.
Took a long look at Ron Renicky, the third base coach, and now squares and bunts it foul. No balls and 2 strikes.
I don't care who you are. It's tough to stick your nose in there when a guy's throwing 100 miles an hour. You want to. It's hard to.
Good bunting form, but the idea is to let the ball hit the bat and not move the bat at the end. If you poke at it a little bit, many times it's because of velocity and that you don't want to stick your nose in there too long. You want to get it out of there. It is hard to bunt a 100-mile-an-hour fastball.
See if he tries to lay one down 0-2, but he takes ball and 2 strikes. Syndergaard allowed a second-inning walk to Andre Ethier, who made it as far as second base. Hernandez led off the third with a single to left. Greinke pulls the bat back and takes 2-2.
At first glance, I thought that was a strike.
Greinke was 15 for 67 with 2 homers and 3 runs batted in. The 2-2. Strike 3 called for the first out.
Nothing you can do there, Cal. Almost a perfect pitch by Syndergaard.
98 miles an hour. A little comeback to the outside part.
That's that 2-seamer that comes back just a little bit, just enough to get the strike.
He throws hard, and Travis d'Arnaud may have broken a string. He's going to head over to the dugout.
I don't think he broke the string. Syndergaard did.
Well, when you throw 98, 99, 100, those things are going to happen. There, he's got the new one.
Yeah, you see those numbers with the miles per hour, and somewhere Aroldis Chapman on his sofa stood up and took notice a little bit. Hey, that's not bad. Of course, Chapman lives in that neighborhood. Most other pitchers just kind of pass by or occasionally visit.
Dream.
Top of the order now, Howie Kendrick. On the ground, in the hole, base hit. They're at first and second with 1 out.
Kike took off a little bit like he was going to steal, didn't get the jump. And Howie still pulled the ball in the hole for a hit. These are 2 guys on the bases that you can maybe take a chance in stealing. That little fake might have had him covering second base.
But that's Tejada moving just slightly to his left the wrong way on that ground ball from Kendrick.
If you are Tejada, you are keying off that guy on first base. You have coverage. You are going to react to that bluff.
Big spot for the kid, Corey Seager. The 21-year-old shortstop who came up in September.
I talked to him a little bit and said, how nervous were you last night? He said, not too bad. I was more nervous about tripping over something coming out of the dugout.
Dodgers first round pick in 2012, number 18 overall. Ball and a strike.
Seager's a good hitter, but when he's behind in the count, he's a .394 hitter.
Hernandez at second. Kendrick at first. Dodgers trail 2-0.
And I guess defined behind in the count is 0-1, 1-2, 2-2's even, 1-1's even. So really in the 0-1, 1-2 counts is what we're talking about here.
In his playoff debut last night, Seager went 1 for 4, had a ground rule double, struck out twice, struck out his first time tonight. The 1-2. And is hitting 2-2.
That's that back leg curveball and almost did catch his back leg.
Darno wanted it down in the dirt.
And he got him swinging for the second out.
Number 23,
Follow the postseason right from your phone with Team Stream by Bleacher Report. Get the latest MLB news, scores, and highlights all in the palm of your hand. Download Team Stream on the App Store or Google Play today.
The last strikeout pitch was a changeup, and you can see the difference to a left-hander. It kind of goes down and away from him. Kiki Hernandez got one coming into him and got a base hit.
2 outs, got a tough customer up there now in Adrian Gonzalez. And Kike had to scramble back as Tejada snuck in behind him.
I was taught early as a professional, if you're going to have a good game, there's 4 or 5 outs you have to get in a ball game. This is the first one for Syndergaard.
.99 past him. 0-1.
Agon got a base hit yesterday, knocking the only run down the left field line. When guys get in scoring position, he waits a little longer.
I always thought that hitters, that's the fake something in the eye so they can kind of take a peek at the catcher and where he's sitting.
I would use it as a way to get my thoughts together. What do I want to sit on here? I was wrong on that one. Now what? Now what? Now what?
God, that thing is still in my eye. Now what? Now what? Runners lead from first and second. Syndergaard to the plate. And he's ahead 0-2.
It's almost getting the hitter on a seesaw. He's behind the fastball, so you got to turn it up a notch. As soon as you try to turn it up a notch, Syndergaard counters with a changeup.
They've pitched him extremely tough so far.
Gonzalez knocked in 90 runs in the regular season, top 10 in the National League. Couple of runners out there for him here in the third. That will be out of play down the left side.
The Dodgers left-handed hitters haven't done so well so far. 2 for 27.
Gonzalez tends to be a little different hitter, though, with 2 strikes because he's such a great RBI guy. He's one of those guys that with 2 strikes, he will go the other way.
When you look up the strikeout totals for a lot of guys, and it's used to seeing 199 now, 170. In the old days, if you got to 100, you know that was the mark. Gonzo is just barely over 100. He makes contact. Goes to plate almost 600 times every year.
No balls, 2 strikes. Couldn't get him to chase. 1-2.
Wonder if that's a setup pitch. I've always thought that when you get Gonzalez behind in the count, you got to pop him inside at least one time. Make him take notice that you'll come inside.
He knows where the outside corner is, and he's covering the plate, fighting off the fastball, protecting against the off-speed pitches, so he's vulnerable in the inside part.
Strikeout number 6 for Noah Syndergaard, and it comes with runners at first and second. Mets leading 2-0 after 3. '15 National League Division Series coverage on TBS is presented by T-Mobile. We head to the top half of the 4th inning. Zach Greinke goes back to work, facing 3, 4, 5 hitters for the New York Mets. Daniel Murphy struck out his first time. He homered last night. Mets have gone deep twice off of Greinke here in Game 2.
Well, those are his regular season numbers. That home run total is the best he's ever had in the majors. He's the free agent, so he presents some problems for the Mets, and he has this postseason to show his talents.
Two balls and no strike. Interesting story that Terry Collins was relating in our pregame meeting about a comment Zach Greinke made after facing the Mets in 2014. And it's a quote that they read, and it's a quote that they keep in their clubhouse back in New York. That ball is hit well to right. Murphy with a single to lead off the fourth. But Greinke had been impressed with the New York approach. That was the best any team's taken by quality sliders and quality changeups all year. And the reason that meant so much to Terry Collins and his staff is that, look, this is our approach, and this is kind of like validation for the way we want to do things. And one of the best in the game says, you know what? They do it well.
You don't usually get that kind of comment from a starting pitcher, but Zach is one of those guys just going to say whatever he feels. 2-0 last night. Murphy with a home run off Kershaw. 2-0 hits a breaking ball for a base hit.
Here's Cespedes, who homered his first time to lead off the second. Takes a strike, 0-1.
What that tells me is Greinke's used to having hitters chase a little bit out of the strike zone. And what he's saying is the Mets hitters took those pitches, made me come to the big part of the plate, made it a little bit harder on me.
On the ground, just foul, past third. Here was La Potencia doing his thing in the second. Well out of the reach of Andre Ethier and Wright, and got the Mets on the board. And then Michael Conforto followed in that same inning with a solo bullet into the seats off the foul pole and right. No balls, 2 strikes. To left, Carl Crawford was right at him. 1 down. Moments ago, Sam Ryan spoke with Dodgers manager Don Mattingly.
Donnie, Zach with a quick third inning after those 2 home runs earlier. What are you seeing from him?
Pretty good. Same as usual with him. Looks like Cespedes got hanging out over the plate a little bit and caught a fastball. And Conforto looked like he had a pretty good pitch. Just keeping it fair. So hopefully keep his pitch count down as we go forward. Put a little pressure on Syndergaard. We've been able to get some guys out there. Hopefully we'll be able to break through.
What are you seeing from Syndergaard besides he's throwing he had a couple of hits going there that last inning?
Well, that first inning just overpowered us. I mean, this guy was unbelievable out of the gate. But the last 2 innings, we've been able to get him in the stretch a little bit. Better swings we're seeing, so hopefully he'll just take a little of that edge off of him and get some balls we can hit.
Thanks, Donnie.
Okay.
Thank you, Sam, and thank you, Don Mattingly.
Terry Collins talks about last night, and you mentioned that Jacob deGrom was so anxious in those first couple of innings. Here's Syndergaard, 4 years younger. He looks so much more relaxed early in this game.
Ball and a strike to Lucas Duda.
In large part, that could be because they won last night. Now you're coming out there not with the pressure to try to get one of those wins, but now you can just be yourself.
That's a good point.
And then you get a couple of early runs via the long ball. It's 2-0. Ball bounced away from Grandal, but Murphy stays at first. Lucas Duda's home runs, they come in bunches. May 21st to 29th, he hit 6. July 25th to August 2nd, 9. September 25th through 29th, 5. One of the rarities this year, too, for the New York Mets, and Ronnie, you and I were working on a Sunday game, not a Mets game, but we got the word about Kirk Neuenhuis hitting 3 home runs at Citi Field, becoming the first Met to ever hit 3 home runs at home in a game. And then a couple of weeks later, Duda did it. But the fact that Neuenhuis had done it took everybody by surprise. Right. He would not be the guy at the top of the list when you'd say, who's going to be the first guy to do this for the New York Mets?
So Strawberry never did it either, huh?
First player in Mets franchise history. Polo Grounds, Shea Stadium, Citi Field to have 3 home runs at home.
Three balls, 2 strikes. Murphy the runner at first, and there he goes. And that's fouled back.
I like that play by the Mets. 3-2, 1 out. Sending the runner Murphy, trying to be aggressive on the bases.
Oh, good combination. Murphy runs pretty good. Got a good jump right there. I thought he had a chance to steal the base. And you're putting confidence in the hitter to put the ball in play, too.
Justin Turner, who's in that shift, came over to have a word with Greinke. Turner's the third baseman, but he's playing over there between the second baseman and the first baseman in a Dodgers shift.
His indications, his movements was he was going again. Got leaning a little bit. Had to dive back into first.
The reason why you take the third baseman Turner and put him in that hole is because Gonzalez has got to hold the runner on. You want to take that hole away, but you want to keep your double play combination the same up the middle.
There he goes again. That pitch was a called third strike, and that is a strike him out, throw him out, double header, a double play. And Lucas Duda didn't really agree with that call. But strike him out, throw him out to end the fourth. Something on your jersey. Follow every pitch of the postseason with MLB.com @BAT, the #1 app for live baseball. Stay connected with highlights, replay reviews, scores, pitch tracking, live radio broadcasts, and more. Download the @BAT app today. Nothing beats fun at the old ballpark. Here we are, Chavez Ravine, as we head to the bottom half of the fourth. And Justin Turner, hitting in the cleanup spot for the Dodgers tonight, leads it off against Noah Syndergaard. Turner struck out his first time, one of 6 that the young right-hander of the Mets has struck out tonight. And the former Met pops it up a mile high, but no room. Here's the way the inning ended.
Yeah, it's a power changeup that stays right on the inside edge, comes back. Starts a strike him out, throw him out, double play.
Impetus is on the hitter, though. If anything close, you got to take a swing when the runner's running.
No balls, 2 strikes to Turner.
Sometimes the ball looks like it's so far inside and you can't believe how it comes back. I mean, Bartolo Colon probably has the best comeback fastball. Left-handed hitters are almost jumping out of the way and it's coming back to the inside corner.
That ball is pounded down the line in left. It's a fair ball. It's going to bounce into the seats. And Justin Turner has a ground rule double to lead off the bottom of the 4th. Moments ago, Sam Ryan spoke with Mets manager Terry Collins.
Terry, another early lead for you guys tonight. How key is that with Zach on the mound for them?
Well, you know, I mean, it's like last night. You know, when you got these great pitchers, you got to get on top because you don't get a lot of opportunities to score, and you got to take advantage of everyone you get.
Noah actually doesn't even look a bit nervous out there. What has impressed you the most tonight?
Well, you know, he is calm, and I think that, you know, he saw how Jake handled it last night, and he saw that, hey, look, if I make pitches, I can get these guys out. And in the first inning, he mixed the pitches up very well. Got a great fastball tonight, and he looks good.
Thanks a lot, Terry.
You bet.
Up and away to Ethier, 1-0.
So they've struck out 6 times, but they're getting better swings than they did last night off DeGrom. Ethier had one of the best at-bats all night against Syndergaard in his first at-bat.
The Dodgers had 2 on in the 3rd, but could not score. And Ethier waves at that. A ball and a strike.
Syndergaard likes his changeup, 1-0 and in 2-1 counts.
Dodgers desperately need a base hit in a situation like this. They're 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position so far in this best of 5. Turner with a lead at second. Here's the pitch. In the air to right. Granderson over. That's going to be off the wall. Turner around third. They'll wave him home, and the Dodgers are on the board.
Yeah, back-to-back changeups. This one's a little up, and Ethier hits all over it. Nice line drive. Short hops the wall. Turner scores easily.
Magic like this kind of ball, too.
Back-to-back doubles to start the 4th. The tying run out there at second now. Nobody out. That is Carl Crawford.
No, not a bad time to bunt right here. That used to be part of Crawford's game. Put a little pressure with his speed. But get the runner or get easier over to third base.
Put more pressure on the youngster also.
Another way is to pull the ball to the right side, but it doesn't seem like that approach and the power arm of Syndergaard will allow that to happen.
Dan Warthen, the Mets pitching coach, watching his youngster, 23-year-old Noah Syndergaard, trying to work out of a trouble spot here in the 4th. Mets trying to hold on to their lead. It's now 2-1. The 0-2 to Crawford. Right back to him. He's going to go to third, and Ethier is out at third.
Well, that's the cardinal rule right there. You're on second base. Make sure it's past the pitcher. You're already in scoring position. You want to advance to third base, but the ball's got to be past the pitcher before you can go to third. gets up with his secondary, reads it on the ground, takes off. He's a dead duck at third, though.
And we said before, these pitchers for the Mets, young pitchers, are good athletes also. Knew exactly what he wanted to do with that baseball before he got it.
Base running mistake by the Dodgers here in the fourth, and Crawford gets back.
Yeah, I'd look for Crawford to steal here for sure. He tried to get out there, get a timed walking lead. Syndergaard is slow to home plate. It's the right stealing situation. I look for him to go.
He was 10 out of 12 in the regular season. Grandal hit the ball well his first time, lined out to second. Crawford edging away at first. Not going. And there's a strike to the Dodger catcher. That is not a graphic that Grandal would like to frame.
You like to see a runner go earlier in the count, don't you, Cal?
Yeah, I thought with a couple of pitches or pickoffs that he would go on the first pitch or second pitch.
In the air to left. Over there by the line. Conforto reaching but cannot get there. Great effort. But he ran out of room.
Well, we saw this play last night confuse Michael Kadire. That one was deeper, but this one was in play, and just kind of the little bit of wind here took it out of play. And luckily, Conforto didn't hurt himself.
Syndergaard ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Grandal batting with Crawford at first. And there goes Crawford. Strike 3, but there will be no throw.
And he gets in the scoring position.
Number 14,
Got a real good jump. Picked a good pitch to go on. It was a breaking ball, which takes a little longer to get to the catcher.
Also, Darno kind of juggled it, so he wasn't going to be able to make a throw anyways. Just out there to remind his pitcher what sign they're going to use.
Base open, Greinke on deck. And Kike Hernandez will be intentionally walked.
I'd have to say I don't love this move, only because Greinke and his ability at the plate, he is like having another player on the field. Hernandez swings the bat well, got a hit in his first at bat, but Collins has made the decision, as he has as his tenure as a Mets manager, to always face the pitcher in this circumstance. I would say I disagree, though, with this play.
Well, logic makes sense.
Yeah.
Even though Greinke's a good hitter, he's a lesser hitter than Hernandez.
On the stolen base, you saw Darno unable to get a grip, unable to make a throw, and that put Crawford at second. And Worthen's going to make a trip to the mound to talk to the young pitcher.
When's the last time with 2 outs that you've seen a pitching coach come out to talk to his pitcher about how to face the pitcher coming to the plate? Never see that.
Zach Greinke talked about what he can do at the plate. This one at Philadelphia. This one at home against Philadelphia. 2 home runs, 3 runs batted in. He was 15 for 67 at the plate.
Last 3 seasons, almost at a 250 clip, Zach Greinke.
1 year hit over 300, didn't he?
Yep.
Well, he comes to the plate now in your classic help your own cause position. Runners at first and second. And 2 down. First pitch swinging and fouled straight back. Dodgers with back-to-back doubles to start this inning from Justin Turner and Andre Ethier. That plated the first Dodger run, and Ethier trying to go second to third on a ground ball back to the mound, was thrown out at third. Could be huge in the big picture of this inning. The 0-1. In the air toward the gap in right center field. Granderson over, calling, and makes the catch. Greinke had them on their feet there at Dodger Stadium. But the Dodgers will have to settle for 1 run as we head to the 5th. We move to the 5th here at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers getting on the board in their half of the 4th, cutting the lead to 2-1. Travis d'Arnaud takes outside 1-0.
I always think, and I tell you people at home, the shutdown ERA is so important after your team has scored a run. Get them back in the dugout. Zach's is 2.72, which is good for any pitcher except for him. His ERA is 1.66 on the season.
Yeah, I love how Yasmani presents the ball to the umpire. He got down on a couple knees to get low and get underneath it. Really gets that low pitch. Makes it look like a ball that's at the knees.
One of the better framers in the game. Or as you call it, and a lot of folks say presentation, framing of the pitch. But Grandal is one of the better in the game.
I did call him a presenter, didn't I?
No, it was the presentation.
Yes.
Oh. I'm with you, Iron Man.
I was trying to figure out what the old terminology for that was. Ronnie?
Framing.
2 balls and 2 strikes. Darno struck out his first time. Greinke has fanned 5. But the Mets reached him for a couple of long balls in the second inning for their 2 runs. And he got Darno up high for strikeout number 6. Want to send our best to Vin Scully, the legendary Dodger broadcaster who underwent a medical procedure this week, was due to be on the radio doing playoff games. That's such a familiar voice to Dodger fans and baseball fans worldwide. And he will be back for his 67th season next year. Certainly send our best to Vin as he recovers, and we certainly thank him for the use of his booth here at Dodger Stadium. This is an honor.
I don't know, it might be blasphemy to be in his booth.
Everywhere you look here at Dodger Stadium, look at Sandy Koufax, who continues to get younger. Able to visit with Don Newcomb before the game. He's such a gentleman, isn't he, Cal?
Yeah, we had a nice conversation. He was talking about wearing jeans now. He hadn't worn jeans in all this time. Now he has 6 pair of them.
Michael Conforto at the plate.
Greinke tried to come in, and Conforto took him deep for a home run. All of these pitches, you can see by pitch tracks, have been on the outside part of the plate.
And he pulled the ball right down the line off the foul pole in the second.
Again, that's what Terry Collins is talking about with his offensive approach. You don't chase those balls a little off the plate, and then you get one that gets on the plate.
Conforto, one of 6 rookies to homer in this postseason so far.
Hit that one right on the screws, but right at Hernandez in center for the second out. Well, he takes some good swings, Ronnie.
You know, he's going to be an everyday player for this Mets team this year, only against right-handed pitching. But mark my words, at some point he'll be one of the stars of this ball club.
His mom, Tracy, was a 2-time gold medalist in the Olympics in synchronized swimming. His dad was a linebacker at Penn State, so he's got it all covered. He's got the toughness, he's got the coordination. He's got some power, man. That ball that he hit out to right. Ruben Tejada swinging and missing, 0-1.
A lot of people thought that Wilmer Flores might start in some of these postseason games, but after the All-Star break, Tejada hit 287.
Greinke, the 19-game winner, will start over, just about ready to deliver that 1-1 pitch.
That's second thoughts about his choice.
And here he comes to the plate. Fouled back, a ball and 2 strikes. Greinke only had 1 double-digit strikeout game this year. He struck out 11 at Washington. He struck out 6 so far in the 5th. And that again out of play.
When I watch Greinke pitch, and his full career reminds me very much of David Cone, the guy who started with a great fastball, great slider, and now he's starting to reinvent himself with that good power changeup, breaking ball, and throwing his fastball less, almost pitching backwards.
Greinke trying to retire the Mets 1-2-3, which would have Syndergaard pitcher spot leading off in the 6th. How long do you think Syndergaard goes tonight, Ronnie?
Yeah, his pitch count is up. You're looking at maybe 5, maybe 6 innings tonight. Bullpen is going to have to play a big part for the Mets.
Tejada goes down swinging. Strikeout number 7 for Greinke. It's a 2-1 game, middle of the 5th. Bottom half of the 5th here at Dodger Stadium. And a 2-1 New York lead in Game 2. Top of the order for the Dodgers against Noah Syndergaard. Howie Kendrick is 1 out of 2. He's singled in the 3rd. We saw 27 strikeouts last night in Game 1. We've got 14 between the two teams, 7 aside here in Game 2. On the ground, David Wright. 1 down here in the 5th.
We asked Don Mattingly before the game, what did he think about all the strikeouts that are in the game now? He said, I hate it. But he said in the minor leagues, they're starting to teach better 2-strike approach. So maybe they'll get rid of some of those strikeouts that are in the game now.
Yeah, that's a philosophy that the strikeout's an out. And they're not cutting down on their swing with 2 strikes, not choking up, not trying to put the ball in play. And I think that's changing a little bit. That mindset might be changing.
Here's Corey Seager, who has struck out twice. A little dribbler up the line. Darno gloves it and throws him out.
Well, Darno was really quick out from behind the plate on that one. He jumped all over it. Because this ball's right off the end of the bat. Looks like it's a perfect full swing bunt, but nope. He's down there past the cutout. It makes that play easy.
You know what's interesting about that play is that if he's not that quick, he probably has to let that ball go foul. But he got to it so quickly, he could make an out of it.
So here's Adrian Gonzalez. As Syndergaard quickly hits the first two Dodgers he faces here in the fifth.
If he can get through this inning with a minimum number of pitches, that might buy him into the seventh inning.
Yeah, he's sitting on 81 right now.
Kind of the same thing that happened for DeGrom last night. What a lot of pitches early in the game.
His high is 116. He's thrown at least 110 times in his 24 starts.
Boy, that's impressive. First get ahead of 17 out of the 21 batters.
Pitching like a vet, huh?
Maddox-like, Johan Santana-like.
The 2-1. Gonzalez waved at it, came up empty, 2-2.
They pitch Gonzo really, really tough so far. He's 1 for 6. 5 punch outs. But all the at-bats seem the same. He works the count. He seems to get behind. Now it's back to 3-2 again. I think all 3 strikeouts yesterday was on 3-2 counts. And he's back in the 3-2 count again. Could get a changeup or a fastball here.
That's that two-seamer. It's hard to believe it at home, but even when a guy throws 98, the elite hitters can figure it out at some point and start timing it. Good swing there by Gonzalez.
He was a little late on that, but he's got good power to left center field. The ball was away from him. It's got to be in the back of his mind. He might throw a changeup too.
Went with a heater and got him looking. 1-2-3 inning for Syndergaard in the fifth. Head to the sixth, 2-1. Tonight's game summary is presented by Geico. Zipping right along as we move to the 6th here in Game 2, and Noah Syndergaard and Zach Greinke, the pitching matchup. 2-4-1 for the Mets, 1-4-0 for the Dodgers. Those New York runs coming with a long ball. Yoenis Cespedes and Michael Conforto homering in the 2nd. And it's Syndergaard who leads it off against Greinke here in the 6th. Took a pretty healthy cut.
Well, we talked a lot about Greinke and his hitting exploits. Syndergaard's a good hitter also.
209 coming in. Has a home run. 4 runs batted in.
Mets pitchers had 28 RBIs this year. That was the most in the National League.
DeGrom was impressive against Kershaw last night. Hung in there on a couple breaking balls, fouled him off.
Here comes the 1-2. And a strikeout of Syndergaard to lead off the 6th. Strikeout number 8 for Zach Greinke. And it's the top of the New York order in Curtis Granderson. Squares, pulls it back. Ball goes to the backstop.
You know, when Sam Ryan was talking to Terry Collins before, talked about getting ahead. What that does to a great pitcher like Greinke is that he knows that he's pitching for the Dodgers postseason life. He cannot afford to give up any more runs. He's got to keep it here. It's a lot of pressure.
The 1-0. Granderson again shortens up and takes 2-0. And Corey Seager charging in from the left side of the infield. He's the only Dodger over there.
In the offense, on the pressure side, you start counting the outs. I think we only got 4 more innings here.
There's a strike, 2-1. Dodgers lost game 1 of this one, hoping that trend doesn't continue. That missed, 3-1.
Greinke just never gives in. 2-0 changeup to Granderson. 2-1 goes with the breaking ball, but just misses.
Of all the Mets, Granderson has seen Greinke the most. When Greinke was with the Royals and Granderson was playing with Detroit and the New York Yankees. So he came in with 52 career at bats, 10 for 52 with a home run.
Watching Greinke, if there was the umpire had a bigger strike zone, he's the kind of person that could take advantage of. If they had a wide plate, because he's just missing, just off the edge, inside and out.
The 3-2 hit hard down the right field line, but foul. Alan Porter, nimble down there on the right field line, got out of the way.
He's laughing. That ball was just chasing him. Didn't matter where he went.
It was a heat seeker.
And then the first base umpire, Greg Gibson, makes the call. I'd still like to see him a little deeper than where they are. Then you wouldn't have to get out of the way of that one.
So would Allen. To the right side. That's going to be a tough play, and Granderson is called out. I believe we are going to see a challenge here.
Well, that wasn't even close.
Yeah. Greg Gibson, the first base umpire, I think missed that one. That's pretty obvious.
Turner with the shovel to first, but you're going to see that Granderson clearly beats it.
Well, the only thing is, did he touch the front of the base? It looked like he did. he's well past it.
So they didn't even replay that. They just changed it to safe on the field. And Don Mattingly now is like, well, what are you doing? What do you mean you're changing it to safe on the field? He's got to challenge that at least. That's one of those where Gibson's going to say, hey, Don, I blew the call. The other umpires let me know I blew the call, and let's just get it right.
But how does Gibson say he blew the call?
Well, he's the one that made the call.
I know, but he didn't. Did he get blocked out?
I think he just made a wrong call. That happens sometimes.
So sometimes you're thinking that he's safe and you call him out.
So it's an infield single for Curtis Granderson. That's the bottom line, and David Wright steps in.
And with that shift on, a full swing bunt, which is what that was, or many left-handers can pull that ball with them and force the second baseman to make that play. But how deep they were, there's really no chance to get Granderson as fast as he is.
David Wright takes 1 ball and no strikes. Wright grounded into a double play his first time, struck out in the 3rd. Of course, he's the guy in the 7th inning last night who delivered the key 2-run single with the bases loaded. Off the corner, a ball and a strike.
13 attempted steals against Greinke this year, 7 successful. So you can run on him.
Granderson, their leader in stolen bases with 11, caught 6 times.
That's a pretty good percentage, though, for the defense. If you're 50% as a base stealer, that's not too good.
Well, we were talking to Terry Collins. Only had 51 steals. That was last in the National League. So they're just not a team that runs a lot. But Granderson is their one legit threat.
Not going. Grounded by Wright up the middle. Seager was going to take it himself. And that is an inning-ending double play. The rookie Seager gloved it, stepped on the bag, gunned it to first. Game 2 of the National League Division Series here on TBS. Bottom of the 6th. The homestanding Dodgers trailing 2-1. They'll send the 4, 5, 6 hitters to the plate against Noah Syndergaard. Justin Turner doubled in the 4th and scored the only Dodger run. 97 from Syndergaard here in the 6th.
I'm trying to get in the head of Turner right now. Good fastball hitter, but each time up he's taking the fastball for a strike on the first pitch.
Ball and a strike. Turner, Ethier, and Crawford do.
He's swinging the bat good though. 3 for 6 this series. 2 doubles. You can't fault his approach.
One and 2.
21 strikeouts. 13 last night for DeGrom.
So half the outs are strikeouts.
Turner really battled him his last at bat. Wound up hitting a ball to left on the hop. Into the seats for a ground rule double, and then Ethier followed with a double of his own to get the Dodgers on the board. And Turner gets tired of waiting and steps out. Syndergaard's sitting on 100 or just shy of 100 pitches, 91 here in the 6th.
Well, we saw last night's ball game. Terry Collins pushed Jacob deGrom through 7. It's going to be difficult to do that with Syndergaard tonight, unless he gets through this inning very quickly.
As he did in the 5th. In the air to right. That'll be easy for Granderson. 1 down. Tom Goodwin, the first base coach of the Mets, is wearing a mic tonight. We had that semi-controversial play in the last half inning. So let's eavesdrop on the conversation with Curtis Granderson.
Man, way to roll. Give me one anyway.
I think he was looking at us. And
Yeah, he thought you had the ball. You touched the base, though? That's going to be the question. Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was going to be the thing. Yeah, that was the only thing that's why I thought he might have thought you missed it.
The flip was so high, you
right.
didn't see the ball.
He probably thought it was on the line, too.
Love that stuff.
That was great analysis by the players on the field.
It looked like he touched just the front of the bag. We didn't get a close-up shot of that, but that could be the only thing that I could think of, because he definitely beat it.
Well, Egon was saying that the flip was higher than maybe Gibson thought it was going to be. Kind of lingered in the air. But that's what you're taught, to touch the front of that bag.
We await an 0-1 pitch to Ethier, and that's way upstairs. A ball and a strike.
You're seeing the ball really well tonight.
Walked in the 2nd, doubled in the 4th, plating the only LA run of this one. Two and 1.
We talked about that start that Syndergaard had here on July 3rd. He won 6 innings in that start. Gave up a run. His high this year, like you said, earning 116 pitches on July 10th.
That was pretty. 2 and 2.
It would be perfect for Terry Collins to be able to bridge his bullpen by getting into the 8th and 9th as opposed to starting it in the 7th.
We asked him. He said Familia can pitch more than 1 inning tonight.
As he did last night and earning the save, 4 outs worth. Ethier tried to check his swing. They asked for help. And Gary Cedarstrom, the crew chief, said he didn't go.
I got to believe this is a fastball right here. After pulling that changeup down the line last time, this has got to be 100% fastball.
3 balls, 2 strikes. Here it comes. High and away. And Ethier draws a 1-out walk. MLB Network tomorrow. Royals and Astros. FS1's got the Blue Jays and the Rangers. Monday, FS1 with the Royals and Astros, Blue Jays and Rangers. CBS, Cardinals and Cubs, Dodgers and Mets. One of those full days on Monday for you baseball fans. Here's Carl Crawford. The 100th pitch by Syndergaard is fouled back. So Syndergaard has walked Ethier twice, intentionally walked Hernandez. Met pitchers do not walk many. Up the middle, should be 2. And it is. Crawford grounds into the inning-ending double play as Tejada took it himself. Aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. Everything Goodyear has learned making tires that go the distance inspires what they roll into yours. Goodyear, more driven. Well, the 6th inning ended on each side with 6-3 double plays. And we move to the 7th. In the air to right. And Ethier right in his tracks retires Daniel Murphy.
This has been a strange series so far. The Mets haven't had a lot of chances, but they've hit the ball out of the ballpark, and the one time they needed a big hit, Wright gave it to them last night. Difference is the Dodgers had plenty of opportunities, and they just haven't been able to cash in with runners in scoring position or runners on base.
In the first 2 games, some of the more meaningful at-bats happened by the pitcher. Kershaw hit a ball to left center that was run down. Greinke to right center with the guys on base, and that was run down.
Yoenis Cespedes homered his first time. It's a solo shot in the second, over the wall and right. And then 3 batters later, Michael Conforto went deep. That's all the damage off Greinke as Luis Avalon gets loose in the Dodger pen. The 0-1 misses, count even, a ball and a strike.
Well, Cespedes has coast-to-coast power. We saw him with the home run to right field. You leave anything down, middle in, he can really go deep on you to left field.
Ran it inside. 2-1. Played 102 games with the Tigers, hit .293 with 18 homers and 61 runs batted in. And then with the Mets, 17 long balls, 44 runs batted in as the Mets made their move. And when you look at that 20-8 month of August, boy, he was right in the middle of it.
Cespedes' home run tonight came on a 2-2 count, but this season, Greinke on 2-2 counts, batters are batting .090 off him. Numbers are just crazy for Greinke this year.
Wouldn't chase, and it's 3-2.
Those numbers are crazy anytime he gets 2 strikes.
That's right. Knows how to put hitters away. 36-11 the last 2 years, and his contract calls for him to opt out if he wants to after this year.
Cespedes waiting on a payoff pitch. On the ground, left side. Seager throws him out. 2 down here in the 7th. Chevy Truck Month, time to make a strong decision like choosing a Chevy Silverado. Chevrolet is proud to be the official vehicle of Major League Baseball. 2 down now for Lucas Duda.
They're telling by the shift right now to Lucas, if you want to bunt now, go ahead. Playing all the way back, give him the whole left side.
Lucas was a Southern Cal product. Mets took him in the 7th round back in 2007. Big guy, 6'4", 255. In the air, shallow right. Holly Kendricks squeezes it for out number 3. 1-2-3 inning for Zach Greinke. Dodgers down 2-1. No laughing matter.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the 7th inning stretch.
Time to go inside the booth, presented by Esurance, proud partner of Major League Baseball. Ernie Johnson, Cal Ripken, and Ron Darling. Well, here we go again with one of these pitchers' duels, as we expected in this series.
You know, we talked about in this series that if the Mets are going to go deep in the postseason and play well against the Dodgers, the young pitchers are going to have to get through 7+ innings. Well, Syndergaard for the second night in a row, DeGrom last night, Syndergaard now into the 7th.
Dodgers managing 2 runs now in 15 innings of play, Cal.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at Gonzalez's bats, Agon's at bats, he's getting pitched to really, really effectively and really, really tough. He battles hard to get to 3-2, but everybody is. They're striking out everybody, and they're throwing the ball 100 miles an hour. It's difficult to score a run.
Yasmani Grandal leads it off against Syndergaard.
And the Dodgers offense this year, let's face it, has come from the home runs. And it's the Mets who've been hitting the home runs in the first 2 games of this series. Addison Reed and Bartolo Colon up in the bullpen.
Oh, 2 missed, a ball and 2 strikes. So they got 7 innings out of DeGrom in the opener. 5 hits, no runs, 13 strikeouts. Trying to get 7 out of Syndergaard here in game 2. And Grandal strikes out to lead it off in the 7th.
Just so much poise for a 23-year-old. Good breaking ball there to Grandal. Down and in, exactly where Darnell wanted it.
Strikeout number 9 for the Mets rookie.
It's got good downward movement. It doesn't have the rotation for a 12-6, but the ball goes down late.
Kike Hernandez takes 1-0. On deck circle, Chase Utley. He would hit for Greinke. There's a big cut by Hernandez. Nothing to show for it. 1-1.
You know, the Dodgers offense score a good portion of their runs via the home run. It's hard to hit a home run off this stuff from the Mets staff. They score 44.5% of their runs via the home run.
Hernandez singled his first time, was intentionally walked in the 4th. That was to get to Greinke, who flied out to right to end the inning. Again, waved at that. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Remember when he got that hit, it was off a changeup. Now he's seen 2 changeups again in this at-bat from Syndergaard. So even though he got the base hit, it hasn't chased Syndergaard off throwing that pitch to him.
It seemed like he had made up his mind. He was cheating and kept looking for the fastball and gotten fooled. Here comes another changeup. Nope. Fastball away. At 99.
Here in the 7th. Pitch number 111. Kike Hernandez draws a 1-out walk. The upcoming schedule brought to you by DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Game 3 Monday, Game 4 Tuesday. If they need it. Game 5 if you need it. Back here in Los Angeles on Thursday.
So what do you think about that 3-2 breaking ball call right there? He was getting his changeup over and his fastball over.
Hernandez, to me, is not a home run threat. I think you wouldn't want to get beat with your secondary pitch when you're throwing 99 still.
Utley struck out as a pinch hitter last night.
But he is a base stealing threat in this situation. Got a good sized lead.
Blocked there by Duda. Utley always hurt the Mets in a Phillies uniform, trying to do that in a Dodgers uniform. This throw, kind of one hops Duda. Throw is into the runner.
Yeah, it looked like it got past him and hit Hernandez.
They have actually gotten Kike on the hip. Upstairs to Utley, 1-0. Fouled it back, 1-1.
If Kike were to steal, it'd be his first stolen base this season. He looks like he's trying to get a jump to me.
Utley's a West Coast guy. Went to UCLA. In fact, the Dodgers drafted him in the second round back in '97. He didn't sign. Signed him out of Long Beach Polytechnic High School. Here he is with the Dodgers after a long career with the Phillies. There goes Kike. Here's the throw. He's got it swiped.
Got a really good jump and just beat the ball to second base.
Well, it's a combination the Mets really couldn't handle defensively. Syndergaard takes a long time to deliver it to the plate, and d'Arnaud throwing the baseball is not his strength.
First stolen base of his career could be huge. He's the tying run out there in scoring position. Man, are they raising a racket here in Chavez Ravine. The 2-1 to Utley. Lined into right field, base hit. They will hold the runner at third. They're at the corners with one out. Utley got just enough to get it over the glove of Murphy into right. Hernandez had to wait.
Here's a low changeup. He goes down and gets it. And that's a difficult read for Hernandez. He doesn't know if he's going to make that catch. Can't get doubled off. And then stops but cannot score. It almost seemed like he was in no man's land there. If he would have made the catch, there might have been a chance to double up.
And so the youngster departs and makes way for the veteran Bartolo Colon in a one-run game here in the seventh. We'll be back. Noble. 42-year-old Bartolo Colon is on, and the long and winding road of his career. Indians in '93 is when he was signed. Pitched for them in '97. Then you got Montreal. You got the White Sox. You got the Angels. You got the Red Sox. You got the White Sox again. You got Dominican Winter League. You got the Yankees. You got the A's. And you've got the New York Mets, and you've got a pressure situation for the veteran here.
Well, he's made 10 postseason starts, but he's never pitched in relief in the postseason. Only pitched in relief twice for the Mets this year at the end of the year.
So if you're wondering about a matchup, Kendrick is 2 for 22 off of him.
Tying run 90 feet away. Kendrick takes a strike, 0-1.
And there's that comeback fastball to the outside corner on Howie. Looks like a ball. Comes back, it ticks the outside corner.
Hernandez is the runner at third. Utley's at first. A bunt, foul. More of a safety squeeze. It was not a suicide.
We saw that play used twice by Joe Madden and the Cubs today.
That's one of Joe Madden's favorite plays. Sort of creates havoc. It makes the defense make a choice on where they want to throw the ball. Many times it results in everybody safe.
To me, though, it looked like it wasn't called. I think that was Kendrick himself.
No balls and 2 strikes.
A little slider there by Colon, who doesn't throw many. When he needs a strikeout in a big situation during the regular season, the last 2 years, he tries to pop a right-hander inside. Let's see if he does it here to Kendrick.
Tejada and Murphy are back at double play depth.
Ran it inside, but missed. A ball and 2 strikes.
This is one of those situations that you have to put the ball in play if you're Howie Kendrick. He's got speed, not a likely double play candidate, but a ground ball to shorter second could get the time run home.
Up the middle, gloved by Murphy. There's one, and they will not get the double play. Wow, to Chase Utley go in hard at second as the tying run scores. Tejada is down. The game is tied. And now we check on Tejada. Tejada looked like a receiver coming over the middle, having his feet knocked out from under him by a defensive back. Check this out.
This was going to be a tough turn anyway. The ball behind second base, he was going to turn that way to make a throw. Utley got off in a great secondary lead, and he gets right there to break up the double play.
Didn't even start sliding till he was even with the bag. This is a play you used to see it happen a lot 30 years ago. Very rarely see it happen now. What a collision.
Utley took a shot to the face, too. That was going to be a tough double play to turn anyway. But Utley made sure they need that run. They need that tying run.
Tejada got upended. It almost seemed like he landed right on his back. You see Utley with his eyes closed. He's in some pain too.
Great play by Murphy. Wow, that was a violent collision.
You take a look at Utley right here. He's coming in. He'll take a shot.
You like that slide, Cal? You don't think that's dirty?
I think it's a hard-nosed play. It just looked more different because he was trying to turn around and make an acrobatic throw. If you're coming in straight forward, you see him in front of you.
You can jump over him.
Yeah.
Oh, they're making him sit down now. You have these tests for concussion and other things that they will go through. You know, Mattingly's on the field because he might challenge to see if Tejada touched the base or not.
It wasn't conclusive on our angle right there. It looked like he barely got to the backside of the bag.
What's interesting that if they challenged a play, but did Utley ever touch the bag? Late slide, he never touched the bag.
And if he came back to the bag and touched it afterwards.
They're bringing a cart out here to second base. Meantime, for Ruben Tejada.
Did his toe get on the bag?
There's a little space right there. Let's see if he goes forward a little further. I didn't see the base move.
You have to keep it going to see if Utley actually came back and touched the bag.
And he didn't.
He never did. He's going straight off the field. We're really just concerned for Tejada's health right now.
What made that so tough? And Cal, I mean, you speak to this. Tejada kind of with his back to the play when it happened as he tried to make that spin and make the pivot.
Well, what you're taught is in that instance, you cannot let the shortstop turn too because it's the time run.
Yeah, you're coming in to make contact here to break up the double play. You're expecting them to come towards you face front. Once he turns around to try to make the acrobatic throw the other way, then it puts him in a situation that looks like a real violent collision. It would be a hard collision anyway, but that's coming in my opinion, just to break up the double play. That was normal.
They're stabilizing his leg or knee right now. Tejada in a lot of pain. Now remember, if Mattingly is challenging whether Tejada touched the base, Collins can re-challenge because Utley never touched the base.
Yeah, he got him on the right leg that was planted. Anytime you can get your legs off the ground before the contact, then nothing sticks and nothing is there to break.
And you can see, yeah, the Dodger players come in and say, look, he never touched the bag on the force. But what they're not saying is, hey, Utley never touched the bag either.
And ran off the field.
They continue to tend to Ruben Tejada on the field here. We will take a short break and be back here to Chavez Ravine in just a minute. Ruben Tejada of the New York Mets on the medical cart, taking its route through the Dodger bullpen with what appears to be an air cast on his right leg after a tough, violent collision at second base with Chase Utley breaking up a double play.
They wouldn't even allow that in the NFL. If a receiver is vulnerable, they wouldn't let a defensive back hit him like that. And that's what Utley did right there. I don't think there was any intent to do that, but that's what happened.
I'm wondering, how do they treat Utley not touching second base?
Well, that'll be up to Terry Collins right now, who can say, look, I'd like to challenge as well, and say the runner never touched the bag.
And what if he still had the ball? Did he accidentally touch him with the ball in the glove? Could there have been a tag?
Here it is again.
So the ball's in the glove.
Tejada never touched the bag.
And never touched him either.
Utley leaves the field having never touched second.
Well, you know, in the rules, before you can have a touching the base, I think you have to have your pitcher appeal the play at second base. That Utley never touched it. And then they can make a ruling whether he touched it or not, the umpires. They do that at third a lot of times, the guy, or first when they miss the base.
So it's like missing a base going on a double. You miss at first base.
That's right.
You then must appeal, and then a challenge can be made.
Meantime, Terry Collins going to go to the bullpen again and summon Addison Reed into the action in a game that's now tied at 2. Drama in the 7th inning. We'll be back in just a second.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Office of the Commissioner of Baseball and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent.
Wow, what a 7th inning we've got here, and Addison Reed is on the mound. Chase Utley is at second. Kendricks at first. Corey Seager at the plate.
I'm so surprised that he's not going to step off and appeal the play at second base because Utley never touched it.
Seager takes a strike, 0-1. I'm wondering if there was an explanation from Gary Cederstrom to Terry Collins. You saw him talking about the out call made at second. Maybe that once that out call was made and Utley went to the to the bench that it doesn't matter? I don't know.
It's wrong. It's wrong, though. If you don't touch a base, you can appeal the play.
A blooper to left. Caught by Conforto. 2 down.
What an inning this has been. Started by a 23-year-old Syndergaard. A guy 20 years a senior, Cologne, comes in and pitches to one batter, and now Reed, who the Mets got from the Diamondbacks in late August.
Through it all, the Dodgers have tied the score here in the 7th at 2. The go-ahead run is at second in the person of Chase Utley. And here's Adrian Gonzalez, who struck out in all 3 trips tonight. Goes the other way, out of play, 0-1.
He struck out 3 times last night and then delivered an RBI base hit to left. It's the right guy for the Dodgers at the plate. It's their RBI guy.
Well, I tell you, when you think about Mets history in '73, when Rose came into Harrelson like that, that produced a fight on the field.
The 0-1 to Gonzalez. And Reed is ahead 0-2. Addison Reed was a 40 save guy for the White Sox in 2013. Made a great first impression with the Mets. Didn't allow a run in his first 15 appearances. And he's in a big spot here in Game 2, bottom 7. Runners lead from first and second. Line by Gonzalez into right. Utley's going to come around to score. Kendrick is at third. They're going to wave him. Here comes the throw to the plate. He is safe. And Adrian Gonzalez delivers in the 7th.
Delivers again in the clutch right here. Takes an inside pitch, pulls it down into the corner, and Howie Kendrick is getting it. Going around the bases. They execute the cutoff play pretty well, but Howie just beats it with a nice slide.
It is deafening here at Dodger Stadium. Fouled off by Turner.
Reed just missed his spot. That fastball was supposed to be away and down, and it was just middle.
Down in the dirt. Darno blocked it. Ball and a strike. Gonzalez with the 2-run double, went to third on the throw. A 3-run 7th has given the Dodgers their first lead of the series. Turner with a 1-2 to the gap in right center field. That's going to get down. Gonzalez will trot home. And Turner with a 2-out double. It's 5-2 Dodgers.
If Turner catches the high fastball, flicks his wrist, and drive to right center field, an easy double.
The Dodger offense rolling here in the 7th inning of Game 2. And Jonathan Neese, the latest Mets pitcher. The Dodgers have the lead in Game 2. We welcome you back to Dodger Stadium. Adrian Gonzalez. Huge 2-run double. Sunday, MLB Network, Royals and Astros, FS1, Blue Jays and Rangers. Monday, FS1 got the Royals and Astros, Blue Jays and Rangers, and TBS, Cardinals and Cubs, Dodgers and Mets. Jonathan Neese into the game for the Mets.
Well, the Mets had two veteran starters, Cologne and Neese, that for the postseason have been put in the bullpen, both in this game.
Justin Ruggiano will pinch hit for Andre Ethier. There is no way on earth that Ruggiano ever pictured himself in this position a couple of months ago. Joined the Dodgers on August 31st in a trade with Seattle for a player to be named later. He had talked about having a sore back from riding the buses. Played with the Cubs last year. But he came to LA, 21 games, hit .291 with 4 home runs and 12 RBIs, made his mark as a pinch hitter, and Don Mattingly had to put him on the roster. Talked to Don Mattingly before Game 1. I said, Ruggiano's surprised to be here. Are you surprised to put him on the roster? He said, by all means. And he's caught looking to end the 7th inning, but what a 7th it was. 4 Dodger runs. A huge collision at second base. A clutch hit. A ton of Mets pitchers. It's 5-2. Stay tuned after the game for the postseason show on TBS presented by the Lincoln Motor Company. They are going to have plenty to talk about. Casey Stern and Pedro and Dusty and Chef. Yasiel Puig makes his first appearance of this series. Defensive replacement in right field for Andre Ethier, and Justin Ruggiano moves to left field. A lot of stuff happening in that 7th inning, and as Travis d'Arnaud comes to the plate here to face Chris Hatcher, who's on in relief of Zach Greinke. Ronnie, you've had a chance to talk to Major League Baseball about that ruling at second base.
And what they have said to me is that if an umpire misses the play and makes the call incorrectly, then they can correct the play and put the runner back at the base that he should be, even if he didn't touch the base. That's the explanation.
So Chase Utley, after that big collision and when he took out Tejada, never did touch the base. But Chris Guccione, the second base umpire, had called out. It was challenged, and on appeal, the call was overturned. And then you saw Gary Cederstrom explaining to Terry Collins, here's the situation. That out call had been made, and that's the explanation, Ronnie, you just got from Major League Baseball. And so that's why there was no step off and throw to second to appeal when the pitching change was made.
No step off appeal. I also asked, was it a neighborhood play? Because they were trying to turn 2. They said that the throw from Murphy took Tejada off the bag.
2 balls and a strike. And the count even. Hatcher worked in game 1 as well for the Dodgers. Pitched in the 9th. Got a strikeout. He works now in the 8th, and the Dodgers with a 5-2 lead after that 4-run 7th. Luis Avilan warming in the Dodger pen. Boy, this place is buzzing. Still buzzing from what everybody saw in the 7th inning. The hat trick for d'Arnaud.
Yeah, this play right here, you're talking about in the neighborhood of a double play. It's not a routine double play. The toss kind of brings them away from the bag, puts them in a position to get run over at second base.
But Cal, so you go on the record, Cal, as saying that's a clean play, that's a hard playoff play, that's a dirty play. What do you say?
I think it looked a lot worse than it was by Tejada trying to turn and throw from that angle. When you're coming in face to face on a double play and trying to break the double play up, he slid a little bit late, but he's around the bag and he comes in, puts his feet in the ground and just makes contact. So yeah, I say that's a hard, clean play.
Michael Conforto is at the plate. 1-0 the count. Conforto homered a line drive off the foul pole and right. Back in the 2nd inning.
And to me, it got complicated by the way that Tejada was going to try to complete the double play. Spinning all the way around and throwing the ball. Then he was exposed in the backside, and the collision just occurred in a weird way.
And I think it's all right for us to disagree. I think that the slide by Utley was late.
No question it was late.
Yeah, definitely was late, and I think that looked as bad as it was.
Drilled deep to right. It's well foul, but does this kid have some pop? Two balls and a strike. Hatcher to the plate. Count even, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
It brings back Matt Holliday's slide to Scudero.
Yeah.
at second base when he went over. He went all the way over and made contact without even sliding. To me, Chase Utley made contact with the ground parallel to the bat. So it was a late slide, a hard slide.
Second straight strikeout for Hatcher. 2 outs here in the 8th. Let's go down to the field. Sam Ryan, what you got, Sam?
Yeah, no official update yet on Ruben Tejada, the injury that we saw where they put the air cast on his leg, but I did see team officials and Dr. David Alchuk. They sprinted towards the x-ray room. Nobody has returned. There is a back exit as well, but no official word from the Mets yet as to the injury to Ruben Tejada, guys.
There's Wilmer Flores, who came on when Tejada was injured. Right back to the mound. Hatcher makes the play. 3 up, 3 down in the 8th. Here's tonight's forecaster presented by FanDuel. 90% chance of winning when the Dodgers lead after 7. They took the lead in the 7th tonight with 4 runs to erase a 2-1 New York lead.
I think Chase Utley got his bell rung pretty good on that contact.
No question. Puig leads it off. Swings and misses at the first offering from Hansel Robles. The 5th Mets pitcher of the night.
Towards the end of the season, Robles, who throws awfully hard, give up the home run ball a lot.
That FanDuel number, 76-8, are the Dodgers when they lead after 7. So Puig, who's been on the DL and off the DL, and seemed to be some question as to whether or not he was sound enough to be on the NLDS roster, but he certainly made it. Missed with the 0-2 did Robles. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Does everybody throw 100 now on the Mets staff?
The only 2 guys who didn't were the 2 starters that are now in the bullpen, Colon and Nice.
There's a little 98 for you, and Puig goes down swinging for the first out.
Catcher number 9.
Just a riding fastball up and away from Puig, who hasn't had a lot of playing time. Timing can't be good right now at 98 miles an hour.
That's a good view of the 4 seams. Gets it across the seams. Ball has a little bit of rising action.
Here's Yasmani Grandal. He led off the 7th innocently enough with a strikeout, and then it just got wacky here at Dodger Stadium. Kenley Jansen loosening for the Dodgers as they try to even the series, this best of 5 at a game apiece. That's a fair ball right down the line. Duda gloves it, steps on the bag. 2 up and 2 down.
Center fielder, number 14,
Kiki's big walk on that 3-2 breaking ball. Syndergaard might regret that pitch right there. That started the stolen base, which started the inning where they got a 4 spot.
Don Mattingly in his press conference took a lot of flack from the press for starting Hernandez. He said he liked the matchup against Syndergaard.
And what Mattingly pointed out to us too, he said, look, we've never had a set lineup all season long where you trot out the same bunch. He said there's always been a lot of change in there, so he didn't know why everybody was making a big deal about what he was doing here in game 2. Having Kendrick in the leadoff spot for the first time this year. Foul back behind the plate and about 3 rows deep, where about 6 pairs of hands touch that foul ball.
And they're all still holding it. There were 2 guys and a young lady, and gentlemen. It's great. Big gentlemen.
Boy, how the mood has changed here in Chavez Ravine in the last 45 minutes. The 0-2. Hernandez just did get a piece.
Well, we mentioned it before. Utley, who always seemed to kill the Mets when he's in a Phillies uniform, with his base hit and hard slide. There'll be something talked about for days to come.
Robles delivers the 0-2. And he strikes out Kike Hernandez to end the 8th. We head to the 9th. Kenley Jansen trying to nail it down for the Dodgers and tie the series.
head to the 9th inning, and the word from the Mets, sobering news for them. Ruben Tejada out of the game in the 7th inning. X-rays have shown a fractured right fibula. The play in the 7th inning. The slide here by Chase Utley. Tejada upended. X-rays, fractured right fibula, guys.
Wow.
Jeez.
Starting shortstop in these first 2 games for the Mets. And that big-time collision with Chase Utley in the 7th inning. Defensive changes for the Dodgers. Jock Peterson into the game in center field, and Kike Hernandez moves from center to left. Kenley Jansen, Dodger closer, on here in the 9th and faces pinch hitter Kelly Johnson.
Now owner of the best cut fastball by a closer in all of baseball.
36 out of 38 in save chances. 80 strikeouts and 6 walks. In 52 and a third. 80 strikeouts and 6 walks.
And with a 3-run lead, he's 14 for 14.
One ball and 2 strikes. Well, there'll be plenty to talk about when this game is over, and obviously our post-game show with Casey Stern and Pedro and Dusty and Chef. And they will bring you all of the post-game comments made by both sides, and I'm sure this whole situation with Tejada and Utley will be taking center stage, so stay tuned.
Cal, you know this better than anyone. There was a time in the game where those kind of plays at second base happened routinely all the time, and you had to protect yourself as a middle infielder. But in today's game, you don't see that until the postseason.
Yeah, they used to allow rolling. They used to allow contact without hitting the ground. There's common sense coming in when and how to slide. But your responsibility as a runner is still try to break up a double play. That's within the rules.
Johnson goes down swinging to open the 9th. 2015 National League Division Series coverage on TBS presented by T-Mobile.
You don't begrudge Tejada for trying to make a play on that. It was almost an impossible play, catching and trying to turn with Kendrick running down the line.
11 Mets have struck out tonight here in Game 2 to go with 14 in Game 1. Anderson's had a couple of hits, but in each instance he raced in a double play.
You talked earlier about Greinke. He had that 9-game stretch where he didn't get any runs or barely any runs. Made up for it tonight in the bottom of the 7th.
After the 2 home runs, he really righted himself and kept him right there. Gave him a chance.
Three balls and no strikes. 3-run game here in the 9th. Leave it right, waiting on deck.
If you're the Mets, you're just trying to get Cespedes to the bat. He provided so much magic for this team in the second half.
So that's a no-no. 1 out walk to Granderson.
You need base runners. You need one more to get on to bring the tying run to home plate. And there's always a dispute on how you do that. Do you go take a strike against the closer that has knockout stuff? Or do you cut your swing down a little bit? You're not trying to hit a home run. You're trying to get on base.
That is the first walk issued by Dodger pitching here in Game 2.
Well, David is such a good hitter to right field. He's going to see a lot of cutters away. Big hole between Gonzalez and Kendrick.
There's a strike, 0-1. You see the numbers for Kenley Jansen. Again, successful on all but 2 save opportunities in 2015. There goes Granderson, who was not being held, and he will trot into second.
Well, he was not being held because they were trying to get Adrian Gonzalez over in that hole enough to try to close it down.
Yeah, that run doesn't mean anything, but in today's game, you're just going to start running so you stay on the double play.
That's right.
But ironically, on the swing, if you hit a line drive at anyone, you're running into a double play.
No balls, 2 strikes. White stays alive. Kenley Jansen's from Curacao, was a catcher by trade. Became a pitcher in 2009, and he credits Charlie Huff, the knuckleballer, with developing him into a pitcher. Bounced well in front of the plate. In case you're keeping a scorebook at home, that's defensive indifference on the Granderson stroll to second base.
Is that a DI on my scorecard then?
You make whatever you'd like on there. It's the great thing about keeping score. It's all your personal style. The 1-2. Again, fouled straight back.
The bottom line is you just don't want to give him a stolen base.
A lot of balls by Jansen in the middle of the plate here to right in this at bat.
Mets just need another base runner here to bring the potential tying run to the plate. You got Daniel Murphy on deck, who homered in game 1. That's in the air, shallow right. And Puig makes the catch. Dodgers are now away from tying up this series as it returns or moves to New York for games on Monday and Tuesday, and then if it goes the full 5, would return here to Chavez Ravine.
Murphy knows he's got to get on. Jansen knows he's got to end it right here. He does not want to face Cespedes with 2 on.
Murphy has a hit in 3 trips and takes a strike, 0-1.
Well, it's clear the philosophy is to take a strike in this situation, to try to get a runner on.
Looper to right. Kendrick back. Ball game. Series tied at a game apiece. Seventh inning was crucial in game 1. That's when David Wright delivered. 7th inning crucial in game 2. That's when the Dodgers erased the 2-1 New York lead with 4 runs which propelled them to a Game 2 victory and tied the series in a game apiece. A seventh inning that included this.
This is a huge play right here. Not only the takeout slide and losing to Hana, but he was awarded second base because he didn't touch the base. That allowed the inning to continue. Saved at second base. Not only did they tie the game, but they went ahead.
And a broken fibula.
And then it was Adrian Gonzalez, who had struck out 3 times, who delivered the 2-run double. And the Dodgers were on their way. Speaking of Agon, he's with Sam Ryan.
Yeah, and Adrian, you fell behind 0-2 to Addison Reed. The approach there.
Man, just the first thing that came to my mind is thank God he doesn't throw a 90-mile-an-hour changeup. But after that, just stay aggressive, stay over the plate, and if you see something that looks good to swing at, go after it. I've been, not making contact, so my whole plan right there was just to make contact, and hopefully good things happen if I put it in play, and I was able to get it over dude's head.
Obviously, the moment earlier in that 7th inning when Chase was ruled safe at second. What did you see there on that play?
I mean, Chase trying to break up the double play, but obviously by the replay we saw Tejada didn't step on the base, and that takes away the neighborhood because the throw wasn't perfectly on line. It was a different angle. So I think at the end of the day the replay got it right, and it was huge for us.
You guys fell behind in this one to come back and take this one. Going to New York tied at 1. How big is this for this team?
That was huge. It was a must-win for us. We can't go down 0-2 after having Kershaw and Greinke pitch for us. So we had to win this one today, and it was huge. Now we can go back and hopefully go with Brad. That he's been great all year for us. He can give us another great outing, and hopefully we can put some runs up on the board and go up 2-1 with the 2 guys on the mound again.
Congratulations, Adrian.
Thank you.
Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Sammy. Last year, when they trailed after 6 innings, the Dodgers won 2 games. This was their 11th of the year, and it was by far the biggest because it tied this series at a game apiece. The final score, Dodgers 5, Mets 2. For Ron Darling and Cal Ripken, Sam Ryan, and the rest of the crew, Scott Cockrell, our producer, Matt Lipp, our director. Great job, crew. This is Ernie Johnson bidding you a good night from Los Angeles. TBS is your home for the National League postseason. Following a quick break, stay tuned for the postseason show on TBS, presented by the Lincoln Motor Company. This series is tied. We'll see you in New York.